Hello. Today I want to show you how I have used AI to help me create some guides. I'm actually in the process of creating my SEO guide, and so I figured I would give you a little behind the scenes of how I did that. But before I go into that, I do want to list some kind of caveats with AI. AI is not meant to replace your brain. At its core, what it is right now is a very sophisticated predictive language text engine. It's not actually intelligent. It can only remix what it's found on the internet and what it's been fed. There's bias, there's all sorts of stuff in it. So just always take what AI gives you with a grain of salt because it can and will make things up. So that being said, I'm going to go through how I use it, as well as I will link to where you can get the prompts that I use below. And I do want to list, so this will also include a little bit brief into AI, just if you're brand new to it. I've used two kinds. There's ChatGPT, Bard is another one. You can use these with either one. So I like the idea of guides because it's something that can kind of hit on several different topics that I talk about, or even in the case of an SEO guide, several different subtopics within that, to where it's the questions that I've either seen a lot or I get on this. And I hope we're still streaming because I think I just got a, oh well, anyway. So very quickly, what this is I have already kind of pre-fed a lot of ChatGPT with what my business is, what I do as a coach, because I do like SEO for coaches, analytics for coaches, and so it already knows all this stuff. I've already prepped my model. And so what you can do is, ask it of, based on my target market, can you please give me 10 common questions that people ask when learning about topic that you're trying to talk about? In this case, it's SEO. ChatGPT gives me questions. I take these questions, and then because I want to get kind of past that blank page paralysis, like you can take it and just get the 10 questions, and then you go answer those 10 questions, and you're good. What gets you past that certain point is I want to see kind of what is already in the market. Now, don't do this if you don't know anything about your subject. I'm very serious on this because it will make things up. I have caught it telling me outdated information, especially with the subjects I talk about, which are analytics and SEO, especially analytics right now. So only do this for things that you have experience with, that you know about, and that you are actually, comparatively to the rest of the public, a subject matter expert on. And so I've got my 10 questions, and then I tell it to, hey, can you give me an answer for each question and provide an example that helps give context to the reader? In this case, because it already knows who I serve and I've had a lot of other conversations with it, it's able to give me really good results. Now, you can do this with just the prompts that I have available, and it will still work. But the more specific you can get with AI and the more feedback you can give it, if it's giving you results that you don't like, then it will continue to improve. And you want to notice I like have a whole huge conversation here. You want to keep it directly within the conversation because it's going to draw from the additional context of the tool that's there. So I've got my answer, I've got my example, and it did that for each one, which is good because then that gives me kind of, here's my basis to go back. And I'm using a template that I have already got because it's got all my copyright stuff in it. Oops. And so I'm actually in the process of converting this from one that was my Google Analytics 4 guide into this one. And so I haven't updated the table of contents because that's the last thing I do. But you can see that I've taken this, but I'm putting in my own answer for it. And so you can just, and again, you can do this in layers, whatever you're comfortable with. I got to the point where it's like, here's this, here's the answer to this, and here's the example. This wasn't enough to really sometimes do it. Like I could still answer and do that, but then it's like, okay, well, what is a more in-depth answer? Because I don't want to just give surface level answers because this would be a really short guide, and I like to give depth with my answers so you get more context. And so what I did is I just took each question and had it break it down and told it to keep the answer and expand it. Now, what I'm doing is I'm taking this section and I'm taking, again, very, very rough draft, copying it. And in this case, you can do this in a Google Doc. You don't have to get fancy with Canva like I do. If you're trying to just validate this for you, seriously, just copy paste, put it in a Google Doc, and then that's what you link to as a PDF. Um, but you can take this, and so it has some of the same things, but as I kind of read what's there, I go back, read through it, delete, rechange, update, or change things out. And so as I'm creating it here, like, it didn't include this PSA here that like search engines rank websites, they don't rank individual pages. These are things that, because of my experience, my context, I'm able to take it further than AI can. So don't, like, this is maybe at the end of it, like 10% kind of the AI guidance. And then it is mostly me coming in through and putting things in my own words and making it not also sound like a robot, because we all can kind of spot those. And a lot of times too, what AI will do is if it's already talking about a subject, it's going to put in a lot of technical terms and jargon that, like, I know what they are, but you may not because you don't live in an SEO world. And so those are the things that I kind of do that. And so you can do that for each one. And then once you kind of assemble them all together, again, you don't have to go into Canva to do it. You can create it as a Google Doc. Then you have a guide. So you can do this in an afternoon on it. So that's what I would do if you don't currently have a way that you're getting email addresses, or if you put lead magnets out there, but nobody's really kind of downloaded them. Here's how you can create a lead magnet in an afternoon. Have a great day.